Hey folks, this is Mike with the Quality Sportsman, and today I'm showing you the newest and in my opinion, the best cartridge for the standard AR15 design. Let's go. All right, so today we're checking out my newest AR build. I built this about a month ago and have been tweaking it to get it running well. And I had a chance to shoot it last month at a quantified performance, which is a type of DMR style long range AR match. And I'm really excited about this caliber. This caliber, the 6mm Max, was developed by BC Precision Ballistics down in Texas. And I'm really excited to tell you about it because I think it's truly innovative and could be the next best thing for AR cartridges. So what's so cool about the 6 Max? Well, it is a parent case of a 350 Legend. It has a 35 gram water capacity, which is the same exact case capacity of the 6.5 Grendel and the 6 Arc. But it uses the standard AR15 mil-spec bolt face size of 0.378 or 378 thousandths of an inch. And this is really awesome because that's one of the drawbacks of the 6.5 Grendel and the 6 Arc. Sorry to keep picking on those rounds. I own a 6.5 Grendel and I'll always love it. I think it's a great cartridge. But the problem with that is the size of the bolt face has to be bigger and therefore the lugs are actually scaled down a bit. And there have been instances where those bolt lugs have sheared off and that could be, that could ruin the gun. That could be a really dangerous situation. That could take you out of the fight or the shoot. So the good thing about the 6mm Max and why I think it's so innovative is it's a cartridge profile that's able to keep that high 35 grain water case capacity with the standard design. So I'll overlay a video here that shows the differences in the case head size for a 6.5 Grendel case and the 6mm Max case. So I think that's really important. I'm not sure how common it is that those bolt lugs shear off during operation, but it is possible. And that's scary to me to think that you could be shooting your gun and have a major malfunction like that. A lot of folks are carrying extra bolts, but still that's not something you want to deal with. Another thing that I really like about the 6 Max design, since it is more of a slim profile case, I've personally had better feeding with it. I struggled a lot with the 6.5 in competitions where you're shooting really fast and where I'm trying to load that past 20 rounds in a magazine and it has to curve a little bit in the magazine. I really struggled with feeding issues. I've seen other people on my squad that were shooting a 6 Arc during this quantified performance match. And unfortunately, they seem to have a little bit of feeding issues too, and we're struggling. So to me, that's another positive of the 6 Max. It is a slimmer profile. While it's not exactly the same profile as a 223 or 5.56 case for obvious reasons, it's a bit bigger, a different parent cartridge. It does still have the same general look, and I think that's a positive for remediating or reducing the possibility of having any feed issues. And the best thing about it is because of the case capacity, you can push, a 90 grain bullet 2,900 feet per second out of a standard AR design. That is really cool and that's awesome. That's really going to help folks in competition or just even in hunting scenarios, coyote hunting, long range on a windy afternoon, whatever the case may be. Those bullets have such a higher BC compared to the 5.56 bullets, and they're really going to buck the wind a lot more. They're going to keep a lot more energy down range, all while still going pretty fast, compared to, like I referenced before, the 6.5 Grendel. Even loading the lighter bullets there, I was still struggling to get above 2,600 feet per second, loading those pretty hot. With this 6mm Max, you can push that 90 grain bullet or, anywhere from 55 up to 100 plus grains. I've seen folks load these 6mm bullets. You can push them faster and harder than the standard 5.56 223 cartridge. Another thing that I like about it right now, it is still really early in the design, but it was really cool. I got to call Brian down at BC Precision Ballistics and talk with him for about 30, 40 minutes. When I was building this gun, I had some problems that had nothing to do with the cartridge itself. I had some problems with the gas block that I put on here. So I was talking with him and getting some tips from him on how I could fix that. And it was really cool to hear all the development and all the time and effort that they put into this round and where they're taking it right now. And they are starting to sell their ammunition to ammo distributors, which is awesome and I think is a good sign. And it was really fun to talk to him and kind of feel like just being a small part of this initial launch of this new cartridge. So the BC Precision Ballistics crew, which by the way, they have provided me nothing to do this. I am a customer because I bought all the 6 Max gear, but they haven't provided me anything for free. I've paid all retail value. One of the good things is that they have a partnership with Sons of Liberty Gunworks, which is a very reputable, AR firearm manufacturer, and they are chambering these barrels. That's who chambered this barrel that I'm shooting right here. It's a 20-inch, and they have a good reputation for quality, and I think that's great that they are pumping out barrels. So you can actually go to their website, buy a barrel, swap it out for your AR. Maybe some other tweaks, gas block, things like that you might need to change out, but pretty relatively easy to get into this. One of the other things I like about it is that 6mm are really popular right now. There is really good availability for 6mm bullets and the powders. I'm loading Ramshot TAC for this. I'm sure you could load Varget. There's a bunch of other different very popular powders that you're going to be able to load with this, and there's a lot of different bullet choices. You can go down into the lighter 6mm variants or all the way up to 105s or 108s, depending on how fast you need to push it. All right, so to be fair, there are a couple of challenges and things that I don't like about it, which actually don't have to do with the cartridge design itself, but more the availability. So I know I just said there was good availability on the 6mm stuff, but for this specific cartridge, it is still really new. And it's hard to find the cases. The 350 Legend is the parent case, and that's too big to neck down to a 6mm with the standard die. I tried necking that down in my reloading press, and it just crumpled. It couldn't take it, so I have to buy the cases from the manufacturer, which can get pretty expensive. I think that's a problem that'll be solved with time, but it is worth noting right now. It is kind of a higher barrier to entry than some of the other calibers out there. Another thing that is kind of a drawback is you do need the 350 Legend magazines. These cases will not load properly and feed properly from your standard 5.56 223 magazine, which is a bummer. 350 Legend is kind of a niche round. I personally never heard of it until I even got into the 6 Max. You can find magazines out there. I bought a bunch of Duramags 20 round mags and 350 Legend. I like those. They're perfectly straight. Everything feeds nicely. But there's not a ton of availability out there. You're not going to see polymer P mags in 350 Legend case. At least I haven't seen them. So to me, that's one of the main drawbacks of this. I'm hoping the caliber catches on and we see more manufacturers, kind of build components for it. But for right now, it's pretty slim pickings. And I alluded to it earlier. It's hard, if not near impossible, to neck down the cases yourself. You'd probably need some special dies to do that. So that's one of the biggest drawbacks. Is the ammo is a little pricey. However, it's pretty cool. I bought a set of Lyman dies from the manufacturer, and now I can reload my own cases. In the AR competitions, it's a little tricky to get your brass back. It kind of just goes into a pile of 5.56 brass that folks don't pick up. So I've started marking my brass so I can get that back and cut down on the cost of reloading the 6mm max. So like I said earlier, I shot this gun in a competition. I had just built it that week, and I went up to Virginia for a work trip. So I shot out to West Virginia on a Saturday and shot a quantified performance match. Because I rushed the build, I did have a gas block on it that wasn't really a great fit for the barrel. And the only way I could get the gun to properly cycle was with the suppressor. So I shot suppressed for this match. which I thought would be fine. But after shooting with a muzzle brake for a while, I was really missing, the quicker ability to get back on target. It was a little bit more challenging to spot my rounds, and then I'm always twisting the suppressor, making sure it's tight. It's just another thing to worry about during the match day. But anyways, I was able to get the gun running, even though I built it, like basically in my lunch break on a Wednesday before I went on that work trip. And I had a great time shooting it. I did struggle a little bit with dope. And I think when I was talking with Brian down at BC Precision Ballistics, he was telling me the actual ballistic coefficient for the 90 grain Lapua Sanar bullet that I was shooting, that they specifically tested in this 6mm max caliber. And that ballistic coefficient was fairly different than what the Kestrel had for my calculator. So I struggled with being off elevation wise out at distance, and it took me a few stages to kind of figure that out, and that hurt me a bit. But overall, no complaints. It was a very windy day out there, and I had such an easier time with the 6mm max shooting in the wind than the guys running the 5.56 did. There was a stage, and this is the longest I've ever shot with an AR. There was a stage where we were shooting out to like 817 yards. And I did so well on that stage. I cleaned it in a really decent amount of time, and I was third out of the whole group of 80 guys on that. And I think that's really a testament to the fact that I had an easy time judging wind and getting these rounds on target out that far. And actually throughout the course of the day, even with the really stiff wind, a problem that I had was I was actually overcalling wind. So I always had to back off my wind call until I kind of got used to it. So that's just another testament to the round, to being able to push a 90 grain bullet, 2,900 feet per second. That's really going to give you a benefit if you're used to shooting 5.56 type calibers. For me, that sealed the deal. This is going to be my competition gun for the rest of the year and probably the next few years to come. I hope that the caliber really catches on. If you have questions about the build, again, I don't work for these guys. I just kind of believe in their cause, and I think this is a really cool cartridge. So go ahead and email me, mike@qualitysportsman.com, if you have any questions. So I had a really good time building this gun, and I'm excited to shoot it for some more competitions coming up. I'm excited now that I have the dope, or now that I have my ballistic calculator dialed in with the proper BC for that bullet, and I guess that's a lesson learned. You can select from the bullet library, but need to verify that. Truing muzzle velocity can help, and I guess that's why it's there in the Kestrel. So I hope you enjoyed this quick video and the intro to the 6mm max. Again, if you have any questions, shoot me an email. I'll be happy to answer, or at least point you to the website. Unfortunately, I can't link it down below because they do sell firearm components on that website, and that's against YouTube policy. But you can go to bcprecisionballistics.com or just Google 6mm max and it'll take you there. I hope you enjoyed this quick video. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel. It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps me grow the channel and get more visibility on these videos. Go check out some of our other shooting product reviews and how-tos, and smash that like button if you enjoyed the video. Thanks, and we'll see you next time on The Quality Sportsman.